In order to boost my discoverability as a content creator, I have been trying for some time to make Instagram posting on a daily basis a habit, a reality. I haven't succeeded so far because I've been so busy with my other jobs, my primary jobs, and now this, the YouTube thing. And I've been consistent with YouTube. I've got that pretty well down. But with daily posting, I felt like I needed a content calendar planning tool so that ideally, what I really wanted was a way to schedule and see the posts that I had scheduled up to say 3 to 5 days in advance. Because it's such a nice feeling when you have a little bit of breathing room between yourself and your next deadline, so to speak. And so having that visual calendar so I could see my upcoming posts and I could make sure that I have posts scheduled and have that automation working for me, that I just felt like would make it so much easier for me. So what I did, and what I want to share with you in this video, is I identified, okay, what is it that I need in a content calendar planning tool? I tried a handful of tools that I was already familiar with and a few that I was just trying for the first time. I want to show you in this video what I tried and why they didn't work. And then I settled finally on a tool that is designed specifically for social media management, but it's not Hootsuite. The reason being, Hootsuite's cheapest plan, my understanding, is $100 a month. And as a small content creator, in my position, I don't have the money to be able to spend on that kind of thing at this time. So I found a free alternative that I'm just beginning to learn, but as far as I can tell, it has what I need. And I'm aiming to use that now to create more consistently on Instagram, ideally daily, but we'll see how it goes. And through that, begin to boost my discoverability and grow my social media accounts. So let's take a look. Beginning with what I wanted in a content creation tool, what I was after was a calendar view where I would see, for example, a weekly view. Let's say this is Monday, we have Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. And what I wanted ideally was to be able to see every piece of content that I wanted to post. I could have like a Kanban view, essentially, of all the posts that I had planned for each day. So maybe this was my Instagram post for the day. This is another Instagram post. I don't post on YouTube videos on Tuesdays, but just for sake of demonstration, let's say this is my YouTube video for that week. And that way I can have a visual tool where I can see all the posts that I had planned, and I could make sure to check off each day as I went. Some of the tools that I tried, here's Notion. The very first tool that I tried to create was a calendar view inside Notion where each card would represent a new content creation post, and I would have a little status indicator to show me where in the content creation process I was, so that I could, ideally, I could edit directly from the calendar view, click the status button, have a little drop-down menu, and then change the status. But for whatever reason, Notion doesn't allow you to do that. You can only do it by going inside the card itself, updating the status, and then exiting back. And you have to do that for every single one. For whatever reason, it might not seem like a big deal to some, but for me, it really bugs me. And so I tried instead, inside Notion still, I tried it to make a Kanban view, because the Kanban view allows you to update the status directly from the card, which is really cool. That's what I wanted. But it's kind of clunky because whereas the calendar view aligns the dates automatically, and I can move these around, and the date, the target date or whatever, will automatically update. There's no connection between the generic Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. labels for each of these boards and the actual date of the content post. So if I try to move this over to Tuesday, it's not going to update the date. There's no connection between those two. And then same too, if I wanted to see like the next week's posts, here I have it filtered to show me this week. And so that's the, today and the surrounding days that complete Monday through Sunday. But there's no way for me to easily see the same for next week because that filter doesn't exist inside Notion. I'm sure that there's some way to do that with, coding and stuff, but I don't know how to do that. So I gave up on this. I tried Airtable. I ran into the same problems where in the calendar view, I couldn't update from the view. And then even in the Kanban view, for whatever reason, again, it doesn't allow you to update the status directly from the view. You have to go inside the card and update the status and then come out and do that again and again for every single post. I tried ClickUp and Monday.com, which are pretty similar. They're both really robust. There's a ton of options, ton of customization. Part of that partly is a little overwhelming. Like it could even be a drawback that there's so much going on because it's just such a steep learning curve. I'm sure that if I just committed to one of these tools and I made it my own, I could make it work. But one of the things that drove me away from these two was that the mobile view only allows you to see the monthly level, whereas the weekly view, like this, this too, I don't really like this, the times on the side. I'd rather just see like a card for each post and have that be there. The times, maybe I'll use that eventually, I don't really know. But the weekly view, I would like this, really, without the hours on the side, is really what I would want to see. Maybe these a little bit wider. But that, as far as I know, is not possible in the mobile view in either of these apps. And then there's Todoist. Todoist, I'll be honest with you, Todoist is the tool that I thought that I was going to make this video about because I thought that was going to be the one that I settled on for planning my content, because they have an upcoming view where it's a Kanban style view. I came up here and customized, instead of seeing it as a list, you can change it to a board. And that is exactly what I was aiming for. And you can have labels in here that shows you the status, and Todoist has a great mobile friendly view. They even have a widget that you can use. And so I thought that was what I was going to go with, but I finally decided on Metricool. Metricool is an app similar to Hootsuite. If you've ever heard of Hootsuite, it's a social media management platform that allows you to manage multiple social media accounts. So not just Instagram, but YouTube, X, LinkedIn, whatever you want, right? That's like one of the big features. I guess they have other stuff too that they do now. But like I said in the intro, there's no free plan. The cheapest plan that they offer is $100 a month. And so that's not realistic for me. So I found this alternative, and they have a free plan, and even the upgraded plans are not nearly $100 a month. So they're a little bit smaller maybe, and I don't know what the features are going to be like. But what I like about this is, even though the view is, hourly, I might use that. Maybe I'll want to plan for posting posts at specific times of the day in order to target these hot times, these hotspot times and stuff like that. This is best time, so they have data like that. But another thing that I like about this that Todoist did not offer is I can actually create drafts of my content. And so I can see, and I can have a little like preview of what the content's going to look like. I can even play the video right here inside the platform. I guess it won't play for me right now. But I have a little preview, and I can schedule it and connect my account to the platform. I've only done it for Instagram so far, but my understanding is you can do that for YouTube, and I think you have to pay, but you could also do it for other social media as well, like X and like Instagram, or like LinkedIn. So still a work in progress. As you can see, I've not yet settled on a systematic process for managing my Instagram content. It's a new area for me. But as I continue to learn this tool and settle on that process, I'll be making more videos on how the tool works, how I'm using it to be more consistent, and I look forward to sharing that with all of you. So thank you for sticking around. I hope to see you next week. Adios.